Hi there, my name is Cindy Latin from The Ride. My role in this 5-star production is as a performer. And today I'm going to share a tutorial with you guys about workflow and organizing your sessions. And I'll be using Pro Tools, which is another digital audio workstation, a DAW. Some of the other videos I've used Logic Pro X, which is great. I think Logic is better for creating tracks, producing, writing, and arranging. And I think Pro Tools is better for recording audio and mixing. However, you can do both in either of them, but this is just the way I work. So this is a session from a big band tune I recorded of mine. So it's, I think, 13 horns, and then you have a normal rhythm section, which is drums, keys, bass, and guitar, and a vocal. Vocal not including the rhythm section. So pretty much what I want to do is show you how you can clean up your session and make it ready for mixing. So first thing that's pretty important, I think, is to just get rid of anything you don't need. So at the bottom here, there are some MIDI tracks. They're grayed out, but that means that, like, before we recorded, I also made demos of these songs using MIDI for the players to hear them and, like, kind of get an idea of what I wanted, because sometimes just looking at a chart isn't the full picture you want to also hear. So that's what I made, but we don't need them anymore. So I'm honestly just going to delete them. But there's another thing you can do. If you, some reason, think you might want to reference them later, you can, I'm right-clicking here. You can, I'm going to delete them. But the other option is to hide and make inactive. So that means they're not going to play, but you can still access them here where it says tracks. They'll be in this list, and they'll also be italicized, and you can, like, click them there and then, like, make them active again if you'd like. But for now, I'm going to delete them. Okay, great. Delete. No, we don't need them. Okay. So, next thing to keep in mind, and the recording engineer did a great job, he's super pro, and kept everything in the correct order. So when you put everything together, you want it to be in a good order. It's actually the opposite of a score. So, like, the score would go, this is top to bottom rather than bottom to top, let's say. So, like, normally the drums, which are here at the top, they're usually at the bottom of, like, an actual score, like, piece of musical notation, but here we put them at the top, and you do the bass drum first, the kick, then the snare, hat, toms, overheads, then you would move on to the bass guitar, then comes harmonic instruments like pianos, guitars, keyboards, if you have synths or pads that are acting in that way. Then come more melodic instruments like all the horns I have. I've got saxes, trumpets, and trombones. And then last would come the vocal. And there's some other things going on in here that we would probably move the order of. Like, got some reverbs. I would probably put the voice here. Also the master, which is, like, everything goes at the bottom. These are more pre-records, things that I did before to, like, give the musicians an idea. So let me erase that. Okay, so the next thing that's pretty important to do is to set the entire, everything out here. I want to change the output and make them come out of the main output. They've been routed to other places because of the way I recorded it, but let's get everything out of 1 and 2. I'm doing Option, selected everything, then hold Option and Shift, then go here, output, change to 1 and 2. This little strip down here, this is output, and the one next to it is input. So we just changed all the outputs to 1 and 2. Okay, all right, one last thing, and then leave it for today. Okay, so then I want to group things together. I want all the drums to be grouped together. So what I would do is create Command-Shift-N for new track and do a stereo auxiliary track. Okay, it's going out of 1 and 2. All the drums are going out of 1 and 2 like we just said, but I would change that now to them going out of this. Let me name this drum submix. And what you would do is put everything, Option Shift again, and then hold down the output button right there. There we go. And go to track and find drum submix, which is this. So now these are all routed to here. And let's say I put an insert or like an effect or a send on this. Whatever I put on the drum submix, everything in the drum submix is going to get that effect. Also going to Command S on the solo, Command S solo safe, which means that if I solo any of these instruments here, they're still going to get all the effects on this track, which you definitely want. Otherwise, you're hearing them out of context, which is essentially useless for your mix. Anyway, there's definitely more to it, but I thought this was a good place to start for mix organization. This can be done in any DAW. You can do this in Logic and all the other ones as well, and I hope that's helpful. Good luck.